What's up, class? Come on in, guys. Come on in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this video, guys. Share this video. I got a good one today. So good, guys, that I brought in one of the OGs, guys. I brought in one of the original ones to do it. You know what I mean? I brought in my guy, Big Mike Drop.
Yo, what up, man?
What's going on? What's going on, Big Mike Drop? Yo, welcome to class, man. I had to definitely bring you into class today to help teach the class. This is crazy, Big Mike Drop. First of all, man, when I sent you the content, what was your first initial reaction before we get on into showing what we talking about?
I'll say the first thing I noticed is what he looked like. I noticed what he had on, his get up, you know, jewelry, golds in his mouth, things like that. And saying what he was saying, I'm not gonna, spoil it, but saying what he was saying was just laughable to me.
Absolutely.
It was totally laughable.
Absolutely. So, guys, without any further ado, before I give any spoilers, let's go right into the content, guys. Hit that like button. Keep in mind, guys, we don't subscribe to any groups, gangs, communities, religions, feelings, or emotions. We subscribe to the truth. We subscribe to common sense. We call out bad behavior in both men and women. And you're not going to believe this bullshit.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get on into this. I'm going to play it straight on through, and then we're going to cut it up.
Me on the phone with Wack, I'm not going to ask him, would you sign the Southside? I don't give a fuck if you want to sign one. We don't want to sign to no blacks.
Right.
Southsiders do want, guess, I don't even want to speak on that, but we don't want to sign to no blacks. You know what I'm saying?
Is that because of the prison shit? It's not a racist thing? Help me understand, because when you say that out loud, it sounds crazy.
It's because like this. It's like this. It's like I go to jail, I rock with my race.
Mm-hmm.
I eat with my race. I do things with my race. So it's like I'm here. I conduct business. I do things with my race. You know, like we integrate and whatnot. But why would I have somebody in charge of my music career if I'm already programmed a certain way? I'm already institutionalized a certain way. Why would I? You get what I'm saying? That's just my mindset. So I'm like, nah, we wouldn't do that. And most of the homies would think the same way as me. They're gonna agree with what I say.
So
like,
you wouldn't sign with somebody if they were unaffiliated. Like, let's say Diddy wanted to sign you to Bad Boy.
Me personally, I'm not trying to sign. Me personally, I'm not.
Now, that was amazing to me. That was amazing that was able to be aired. It's out there now. It's in the public. I mean, it's not viral yet because I kind of got it. I kind of got it on the under the table side of things. But Big Mike, take from there. What do you think, man?
Let me get the ignorant shit out the way first. Who is this person?
This is I'm not too familiar with him, but he's one of them West Coast rappers, if I'm not mistaken. He's a West Coast rapper. I'm not too familiar with him. I just saw the content and I had to pull it because I couldn't believe, you know what I mean, the ignorance that came out of his mouth. But he meant the shit, and it just goes to show what I teach over here all the time, that this shit is learned behavior. and the most dumb. It's only the dummies, the dumbest, the most uneducated people are the hatefulest. Those are the guys that hate the most.
And that's most of them. I ain't gonna lie. Like to see this guy, basically what you are is a black dude in costume. So you have on a black man's costume, or a rapper, or a street culture costume, but you hate everything that you're representing. I mean, it's a walking dichotomy, and that's probably why nobody knows who he is.
Right, right, and this goes to show that he's unemotional intelligent, guys. That's why I stick around, guys. We got 15 signs that you are emotionally mature. This is an unemotionally mature man right here.
Absolutely. If I wanted to start a mariachi band, but I ain't want to be run by Mexicans, and I ain't want to sign the Mexicans, that's basically what this is the equivalent of.
Right, right, right. I don't want to get money. I'm a stick to the hood. I'm a stick to my hood and cut off the possibility of opportunity, but I'm a victim though. This is what that is.
They're all victims, Goodbread.
Crazy, yo. Look at this fool, yo. Let's watch that one more time, man.
Yeah.
Me on the phone with Wack, I'm not gonna ask him, would you sign the Southside? I don't give a fuck if you want to sign one. We don't want to sign to no blacks.
Right.
Southsiders do want. Guess I don't even want to speak on that, but we don't want to sign to no blacks. You know what I'm saying?
And that's sad, yo, because clearly the as he said, the blacks are the ones generating the money. The blacks are the ones in the mainstream. The blacks are the ones that got the checks. So you just admitting right now you don't want to get no money. Your pride and ego is is stronger. Is more important than money.
Right.
And that's crazy to me.
Right, but you want to do our shit at the same time. That's the problem.
Absolutely.
You want to do our shit, but you don't want to pay homage. And I think that's speaking to a problem that we're having now, man, and this conversation is being uncovered. Day after day, man, this is developing. Nobody's letting go of this. And you got Latinos saying that they created hip hop, but yet they can't offer any proof of any Latino artists. Nobody could tell me what the first Spanish song was. None of that.
Right. Absolutely, man. It's entertainment. It's pure, sheer entertainment. Like, who is gassing them?
Oh, they're getting gas, but it's part of a bigger issue. But we can go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is that because of the prison shit? It's not a racist thing? Help me understand, because when you say that out loud, it sounds crazy.
It's because like this. It's like this. It's like I go to jail, I rock with my race.
Mm-hmm.
I eat with my race. I do things with my race. So it's like I'm here. I conduct business. I do things with my race. Like we integrate and whatnot. But
I'm not mad at that statement right there, because honestly, there's a bone in all of us that we just want to be with our peoples. Like, leave us the fuck alone. Who the fuck idea was it to be mixed and mashed and Tower of Babel? Like,
I mean, all the people were mixed at one point in time until we started speaking different languages and we stopped being able to communicate.
The ideas, the ideologies.
Yeah, so some of these people didn't exist during that time. You got to realize some of these people were created after that. You know what I'm saying? So what you're looking at is, you're not looking at an original man right there. You're looking at an amalgamation of different people. You're looking at an amalgamation of German. You're looking at an amalgamation of, some sort of indigenous person. You're looking at an amalgamation of Spanish, things like that. So, these people have been created since those days. So all of our communication is new. We have to set the tone because we're just being introduced to a lot of these people.
Well said, man. That's why I brought you in, to help us with this shit right here, man. Well said, man. I'm learning today. We learning today, class. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, man. We got the Big Mike Drop in the house. Y'all go check them out. We'll drop the link. We'll have the link in the comment sections. You know what I mean? Go check him out, man.
Absolutely.
But why would I have somebody in charge of my music career if I'm already programmed a certain way? I'm already institutionalized a certain way. Why would I?
Now that was key nugget right there. That was the realest thing he said on this interview. He's already programmed a certain way.
Right. He used the word institutionalized, which in my case is sad because the prison culture is so strong and gets such a grip on these young people when they go to prison that they can never experience freedom anymore, even when they're free. Even when they're out and they can breathe the air, you know, make love to a woman, they're still in prison in their mind. They're institutionalized.
Right, right. I lie. That's why our simp percentage is so high. So many brothers come home from prison. Those are the biggest simps.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? That's just my mindset. So I'm like, no, we wouldn't do that. And most of the homies would think the same way as me. They're gonna agree with what I say.
So
like,
you wouldn't
right.
sign with.
See, that's that consensus shit. That's that great minds think alike. Even though if everybody thinking stupidly because the census, the masses is thinking one way, then I'm gonna just run with that. It's limiting. It's a limiting belief system. Sad.
But we're all susceptible to it.
Definitely.
Everybody has a threshold. It's called a threshold. And you know, it's like if we're out in the crowd, man, and one person busts a window, we might just all look at them. But then if 2 and 3 people bust a window, everybody has a threshold. Your threshold may be 1, 2, 3, or your threshold may be 100. But at some point in time, if you don't leave that situation, you will do the same thing. You will bust a window eventually.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Somebody, if they were unaffiliated, like let's say Diddy wanted to sign you to Bad Boy.
Like me personally, I'm not trying to sign. Me personally, I'm not. Me on the phone.
Yo, he's just ignorant, yo. Enough of that, man. That was just ignorant.
He ain't crazy because you notice he didn't take Diddy signing him off the table. He just said, I'm not trying to sign. He didn't say, no, I ain't going to sign with Diddy because everybody know when Diddy come with that paper. You know what I'm saying? Y'all broke asses joining in, and all this shit you said is just in the wind.
Facts, though. Facts 100. It just shows the ignorance in a motherfucker and the ungratefulness in a motherfucker who I don't believe nothing that he said out his mouth, man. I think they all got a price. You know what I mean? If the right person come, that's what it's gonna be. They're gonna all take it.
Exactly. They'll put those feelings on the back burner.
Truth. All right, now let's go on and get into this list. I ain't gonna hold you much longer, but I found this list to be very, 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 very good towards this content because this man is immature. He's emotionally immature. He let his emotions control him. And I always say, when you let your emotions and your feelings make decisions for you, that's female nature, guys. That's not manly. That's not masculinity right there. You know what I mean? So, guys, just take note of the list. Y'all already know we come here to fix ourselves. They don't really touch on self-improvement. But brothers like myself and Big Mike, we always here for y'all to give y'all that game that y'all need. You know what I mean? It might not be the shit you want all of the time, but it's definitely going to be the game that y'all need. So let's go and get into that.
This week, we're looking at emotional maturity, a trait many of us aspire to build within ourselves. We take pride when we display signs of maturity in general, but it's more often than not that people deal with emotions differently than with anything else. You might be mature when it comes to your job, but fail when it comes to romantic relationships. Or you may find it difficult to build and maintain friendships. This usually happens as a result of a deficit in your social skills and emotional maturity. In this video, we aim to provide you with a list of behaviors that help keep yourself in check and also determine where you might need to work on yourself. With that said, here are 15 signs you're emotionally mature.
All right, guys, before we start, y'all know how we do over here. Breathe. Breathe, guys. This that information that the white man don't want you to have. You know what I mean? I tell you all the time, the information is out there. You just gotta want to have it. You just gotta want to go get it. But it's that information. So check down with all 15. If you missing one, then you know what to work on. Let's get it.
Facts. Hey man, I gotta say this, man, before you start it. I happen to be subscribed to this channel that we're showing.
Yeah,
and I think
A-Lux.
this is the best, man. Like A-Lux is the best. That like I suggest everybody subscribe to that.
Everybody, I'm telling you guys, the information is out there. You just gotta want to ingest it, and
Yes.
not make it into what you want to make it, and try to start setting the shit to your comfort so that it'll feel good. Like no, it's no results in feeling good. It's gonna get uncomfortable, guys.
Number 1, you choose your words carefully before you respond. In both business and life, the outcome of conversations can be completely shifted by just taking a few moments to think things through before coming back with a reply. More often than not, people don't care about what the other person is saying. Instead, they're just waiting for the opportunity to hear themselves talk. They're not really listening, and it shows in the superficial conversations they tend to have. At the other end of the spectrum, you have people who are too emotionally involved in the conversation and respond too quickly without allowing the information to be distilled. These are people who take everything said to them too literally, never really taking the time to figure out what the other person was trying to communicate. A good rule of thumb is taking a breath before replying to anyone who's getting on your toes, not because you're trying to stop yourself from offending them, although that might be the case too, but instead you should always figure out what your best options are to getting the outcome you actually desire. The opposite of emotional maturity in this case is seen in people who would rather burn bridges because in the heat of the moment, they act out of impulse instead of reason. At the end of the day, we're all human, just trying to get along so we can all move on with our lives. No.
Now that's key right there, because that guy in the video that we just watched, he showed all of those traits right there. And Big Mike, you touched on it too. You said that we all have it, but then you see how you can't act on it, guys. It's about how you act on those feelings, because that's all they are. They're feelings. We get 27 of them. Anything you want to add to that, Big Mike?
Nah, man, I totally agree with what you're saying on this one. Yeah, I mean, there was totally lack of emotional intelligence on his part and not thinking before you speak. My grandma used to tell me that when I was a young man, is think before you speak. Always think before you speak.
Right. He cut himself off too from so many opportunities.
Oh yeah.
Number 2, you understand how you feel and can read that into other people. Emotional maturity comes as a result of truly knowing yourself. Very few people take the time to acknowledge the emotions they're experiencing throughout their lives without having a clear understanding of what they're actually feeling. This leaves them in a state of constant confusion, of feeling lost in a sea of emotion that's too vague for them to identify and navigate. Previous schools of thought believed there were only 6 emotions: happiness, sadness, fear, anger, surprise, and disgust. But a recent study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences has determined there are actually 27 of them, with every emotion having different triggers in life. For years, most people have found it difficult to diagnose the exact emotion they're experiencing. The ability to clearly understand what you're feeling and communicate it to others is a sign of emotional maturity. The more you're able to understand what in your life is driving particular emotions, the more you're able to not only identify it in others, but also relate to them and understand why they are behaving in one way or another. An easy exercise would be to take a moment every time you feel kind of weird about something that's happening and self-diagnose. What exactly are you feeling, and what has caused you to feel like this? In a fairly short amount of time, you'll have a portfolio of actions correlated to particular feelings, making you a more complex individual and definitely more understanding of others.
Motherfucker A-Lux with the big words and shit. But guys, you got to learn you, guys. You have to take some time to learn you. Stop chasing this money shit. Stop chasing these women and learn you. Y'all spend more time learning how to chase the money, learning how to chase women. You know what I mean? And in that time, you don't learn you. You know what I mean? Want to
Yeah.
add something to that?
Yeah, absolutely. If you can't love yourself, you can't love somebody else. Everything starts with you. So when you tap into your own emotions and you tap into what triggers you and you actually embrace it, that's what makes you strong, is knowing your weaknesses. Strength, a lot of dudes think that strength is not having any weaknesses. Nothing is further from the truth. Being in tune with your weaknesses and knowing how to play your weaknesses is what makes you truly strong. And if you could tap into yourself and your own feelings, then you start to develop empathy for other people. That allows you to live out the golden rule, doing unto others as you've had them do unto you.
Perfect. Well said, man.
Number 3, you appreciate the little things in life. With time and knowledge, you end up understanding more of the world than you previously had, thus changing the way we set our goals and expectations. Instead of trying to find happiness at the end of the rainbow, we take pleasure in watching the rain fall. The illusion of a promised land where everything will be perfect gets replaced by embracing reality as it is, making the most out of it. Life is made up of moments. You experiencing this video right now is one of those moments. The thoughts and conversations happening in your mind right now as you're consuming this piece of content is also a moment of your life. Appreciate and be grateful for all of these tiny moments, for they are the ones that make up the large majority of what it means to be alive.
That's another good one, guys, and it's a fact. Ain't really much to say on gloss over on that one. You got anything you want to add on that one, Big Mike?
Man, I think that's been the most important one so far.
Right.
And you know, a lot of people are so focused on trying to get to the end of the road. And I had a guy that told me this before. Happiness isn't a destination. Happiness is a mode of travel.
Right. It's
So
the journey. The journey.
Taking advantage of those little things, man. Like, like she said, watching the rain fall, going out, getting in nature, things like that, man. It's going to be uncomfortable at first, but when you start to appreciate little things, I mean, you start to experience gratitude, which is the most fulfilling emotion.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. Poetry right here, guys. Guys, hit that like button if you're just now coming into the class. We got the Big Mike Drop. You know what I mean? Check them out. Just like that. Put it in the search engine. The Big Mike Drop. He's gonna pop up. Subscribe over there, man. We got premium content today, guys. Grab a seat, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and share this video, guys.
Number 4, you know when to quit and when to keep pushing. The ability to simulate outcomes and predict the future is what allows us to decide correctly whether or not we should keep pursuing a particular project, or maybe it's time to follow Ross's couch advice and pivot. This comes from our understanding of who we are, what the limits of our abilities are, and assess correctly our chances of success. This is one of those things where you definitely get better with time. Emotional maturity is what allows you to be strategic in your life. Maybe lose one fight because you know the priority is winning the entire war. Always pay attention to people who want to win absolutely everything, even the smallest things, and in the process, they're compromising their long-term success. Don't be that guy. Number 5.
Hold on before we get to number 5, but I want to add on number 4, guys, is I got a lot of musicians, rappers, singers, you know what I mean? Watch how much time and money and finances you pour into that hobby right there, right? When you start to see that you're putting in more than it's bringing you back, then you got to make a pivot, all right? A lot of guys stay in this wannabe rap shit too long, and they skill is actually building something, running something, you know what I mean? So no win to quit and rebuild and retool. No, you gotta learn that.
Absolutely.
We're gonna take some being mature about it.
Man, one of the best stories of all time is the mythological story, the Greek mythology story of Icarus and his father Daedalus. and knowing your limitations. That's what that whole story is about. And you know, this concept even appears in the 48 laws of power, is knowing when to quit.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's so much game in just the average everyday, you know, little fables and tales, even songs. Look at Kenny Rogers: know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Very important stuff, man. This is gamed up right here.
Long-term success. Don't be that guy. Number 5. Your mind is no longer a dark or chaotic place. Taking charge of what's happening inside your head allows you to not only shut out the voices keeping you down, but to put those demons to work in your favor. We're living incredibly busy lives, and our minds are constantly racing. Ideas, opinions, dreams, negative thoughts, all blended into the noise that our lives have become. In a world overtaken by static noise, the person able to not only quiet their mind, but to make it an enjoyable place to hang out in, is the one who comes out ahead. Why? Because everything we do, everything we achieve begins with a decision inside the bone walls between your ears. Everything you know about the world, basically the person you are, is stored here. The moment you begin to think about your mind as the place where you actually live, it becomes obvious that mental health should become your priority. Any success you'll have from this point on in life depends on your ability to clean up and focus your mind toward manifesting these ideas into the real world. This is why we chose Mind Mastery as our first premium experience. This isn't the law of attraction. You don't just wish for it. You dive deep into the understanding of how your mind works and how you can focus in on coming up with creative answers that add value to your life. 4 out of 5 successful people use a specific type of daily meditation to get ahead in life. Number 6.
Now, you guys already know I'm big on, you know what I mean? I like the way she worded it, meditation, but you know, meditating and prayer is the same shit, guys. And I'm big on that. That's your Holy Spirit, guys. And I tell you this all of the time. I mean, in my opinion, that's your Holy Spirit. Your subconscious mind is your Holy Spirit. You keep that thing clear and you right and you good, because your thoughts, your thoughts is your energy that you gonna put out. Your thoughts, what you think, you put that energy out, whether you like it or not. Anything you want to add, Big Mike?
Nah, man, well said. Well said.
You take feedback constructively instead of personally. People always have an opinion on what you do, what you should be doing, and how you should be doing it. Not everybody is a fan of yours, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily a hater. We all deal with frustrations in different ways. Most people act the way they act because they manifest some internal struggles into the world and their relationships with other people. This is why many children who are bullied at home will bully others in their lives, even in the meanest of comments, and we should know since we get a fair share of them here on YouTube. There is a bit of truth, which if ignored is a missed opportunity for growth. As you mature yourself emotionally, one steps away from taking everything as a personal attack. Not everyone who's criticizing you is a hater. Sometimes there are a lot of valid arguments to be made. Having emotional maturity allows you to discern between valuable feedback and assholes.
See,
Hey,
and that go ahead, Big Mike.
Nah, go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
That comes from a lot of men that you gonna deal with and communicate with, and yes, in the society today, a lot of men is emasculated, and with that emasculation come with their parents sometimes being over dominant, talking down to them. So all their life they had a woman talking down to them. So now when a man correct them, not talk down, correct them, or mention some truth that might apply to how they could fix their situation, they look at it as, oh, you talking down to me. And it's sad, you know what I mean? Because a man that can't intake new information is a dead man. Yeah, Big Mike.
Oh yeah, he dead. He just, he just on ice for a minute. But yeah, he's already dead. As soon as you decide you don't want to learn, as soon as you decide that and I'll tell you something that I do. I take praise and criticism and put them in the same place. And neither one of them is personal. Because I know today's praise could be tomorrow's criticism. You know, and I have a hard time with criticism. You know, in being a rapper and you know things like that, having to go through being criticized, I had to learn. I take the praise and the criticism and put it in the same place, and it's not in a personal place; it's in a business or a public place.
Man, I love the way you put that, man. I'm learning so much just with you on at the school today, man. So
Thanks for
I
having me.
appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
Word.
Number 7, you understand that other people can't read your mind. This is a big one, and it feeds directly into your leadership skills. Although you might see life or a situation in a particular way, not everybody will share your thought process or insight, thus making it incredibly valuable to be able to verbalize and effectively communicate the desired outcome. This applies to everywhere in your life, from emotional relationships to the business environment. Most couples fail because they're unable to communicate what they're feeling. This internal frustration builds up because they're not willing to put it out into the open and work on what needs fixing. The same thing can be seen with bosses who require things done in a particular way because it might seem obvious to them that this is the right call. We've been guilty of this in the past, where valuable time and resources were wasted because of a lack of clear communication. As a rule of thumb, for everything you do in life that involves successfully working with someone else, you can't be mad at someone if you haven't communicated to them exactly what they're doing wrong. Stop expecting others to miraculously make the right calls and adjustments to their behavior to match your uncommunicated expectations.
And guys, to uncomplicate that, all she's saying is a closed mouth don't get fed, guys. A lot of you guys, y'all don't understand how by being quiet or taking this submissive stance as a man, you cut yourself off from raises, from opportunity. A lot of you guys, right? All you got to do is go ask for a raise and your boss will give it to you. You don't know how many times people get more raises just for asking. Not they skill. Got shit to do with their skill. It got more to do with their approach and how they ask. I mean, if you quiet, make yourself a sheep, you gonna get eaten by the wolves.
Facts. And a lot of times, just asking, they might just have some extra money in the budget that they have to spend in order to justify next year's budget. So you coming asking for a raise may have just done that. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good, especially when you feel like you're worth what you're asking for.
Right.
Yeah. Once you feel like, man, I'm invaluable to this company or to this job or whatnot, go ask for a raise.
Right. Ain't nobody gonna read your mind. And then when you go to the relationship part of things, guys, you gotta show these women, those of you that be with these women, you gotta show them that you fuck with them, that you love them. Don't stop with this. Oh, my girl know that I love her. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right.
Till she fucking somebody else.
Right. People don't read minds.
Hey, you never listen to me. You know what I'm saying? It'll start being all that. Hey, you be on Jerry Springer, your brother smashing, talking about you were never there for her. No, that shit. But when it comes to that, man, I'm gonna tell you, and even to the ladies that's listening, man, always communicate to your man if you don't understand where he's coming from or what he's saying, because we're not the strongest communicators all the time. Right. And my wife, Miss Amber Alert, she always tells me, use your words when she doesn't understand where I'm going. Because sometimes I just come in there and be like, you know, the fucking thing, the thingamajig, whatchamacallit, you know, and she's like, use your words. Just slow down, use your words, let me know what you want. So that's just a little tidbit for the ladies out here.
Facts.
Number 8, you admit when you're wrong and take responsibility. This is the first sign that someone has reached the first level of emotional maturity. For some reason, admitting you're wrong has such a bad rap because of ego. The more you evolve, the more you understand that this isn't the case. Admitting when you're wrong is incredibly powerful because it allows you to adjust course based on new information you didn't have or didn't understand before. This is a game changer for anyone who's serious about becoming a better version of themselves. Some people keep digging themselves deeper and deeper through lies and tantrums, sacrificing the really important things in the process. We've seen this both personally and professionally. Some people would rather be right, even when it comes at the expense of the relationship with their significant other. The same goes in the workplace. Believe it or not, mistakes are part of your education process in the workplace. Your boss isn't expecting you to be perfect. They're expecting you to learn from these events. There's a great story about the CEO of IBM in the 60s, Tom Watson Jr., that goes like this. A young executive had made some bad decisions that cost the company several $1,000,000. He was summoned to Watson's office, fully expecting to be fired. As he entered the office, the young executive said, "I suppose after that set of mistakes, you'll want to fire me, and I completely understand." To which Watson replied, "Not at all, young man. We've just spent a couple $1,000,000 educating you. Now we need you to put this education to work." Take this type of mindset and apply it to yourself.
That was beautiful right there. Excellent example. Excellent example.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm with it, man. This is an awesome show today.
Number 9, when you're okay with being vulnerable. Many of us avoid being vulnerable. It's been built within us throughout evolution and through education. You should not show yourself as weak. Do not make dangerous choices, for there might be a lion hiding in the bushes. Being vulnerable used to mean putting yourself in danger of physical and emotional damage. Luckily for us, the physical danger is no longer existent, because we've decimated almost all the lions and there are barely any bushes left. So what do we do about the emotional side of things? You see, growth doesn't just happen. You don't build muscles without tension. You need to expose that muscle, to take it to the edge of its ability, repeatedly for long periods of time, slowly but surely increasing its tension. That's how you build muscle and get those biceps you've been drooling over. Emotional maturity comes from exposing yourself to the dangers of emotional damage and being okay with whatever happens. In the process, you're only making yourself stronger. If you think about it, Brené Brown said it best. Vulnerability isn't about winning or losing. It's the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Number 10.
Hey, that's a good one too.
That was a damn good one.
And that could be flipped two ways, man. You can use that to manipulate as well.
Mm-hmm.
Feigning vulnerability is a tool, and it's in the art of war. 48 laws of power. You know, when you weak, appear strong, and when you strong, appear weak.
That's a fact.
You know, vulnerability can be used, man. Vulnerability is good to get with girls too. But just, you know, side note, fellas.
Yo, and not for nothing, guys. The stronger you become internally, the more stronger you become, the more softer the more gentler you'll be able to. You'll see yourself. Like once you get that real strength, it'll allow you to crack down some of the barriers that you hold up right now.
That's power. That's
right.
Power is having the ability to do something and refraining from doing it. That's how you exercise power, just like that muscle, you know.
Yep. So, and that's important, guys. That's key. That's key right there, guys. You gotta let it go sometimes. You gotta let that shit go. Make yourself vulnerable. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we men, we gotta be out there. We gotta go out there. We gotta be out. And ain't no hiding.
Thanks.
You expose yourself to opposite points of view in order to grow. This has been one of our personal secrets when it comes to building who we are and how we relate to the world around us. Since we're young, we get indoctrinated and educated with particular points of view from what we should think and believe about the world, slowly crushing our ability to think critically. This has been incredibly successful when we had to build the civilization we have today, but it seems like we've hit a certain wall. If you look around, it might seem like people are more divided than ever, and this has been a side effect of echo chambers that have slowly developed around your communities. This is why you have red states and blue states in the US, who both completely disagree with the other side, despite both being right and wrong at the same time. Social media doesn't help at all. Facebook algorithms indirectly have been coded to show you the content you agree with the most. You click on the things that you like and ignore those that you don't. In time, you're building around you a network of people with the same views and values as yourself. And in the process, you're losing something incredibly valuable: the ability to understand, relate, and take value out of the opposite point of view. If you really want to get a deeper understanding on how to communicate with the people you don't know or are of opposite points of view. Number 11, your decisions.
No, that was major right there. I remember when you had a show a while back and you was talking about, I think that was you. It was either you or World Class. Yeah, I was talking about the body being the algorithm.
Oh yeah, that sounds like the world class, but I remember being on it.
Facts. That's true. That is so true right there, guys. We gotta unhook. We gotta unhook from these worldly things, man. That's
Oh
what
yeah,
I took from that.
yeah, absolutely. Excuse me, do me a favor, put that right back up on the thing for me.
Yep.
Real quick, just real quick. I think I had to look at it, but I think that is what was shown and illustrated in the beginning with that young Mexican, I assume, rapper. The inability to expose itself to opposite points of view.
Yep.
In which case, at the end of the day, the dude is just a prisoner. He's
Right.
stuck in prison. Even though he's free, he might as well just go back to prison because he still wants to operate on prison rules. I know a lot of my brothers out here been locked up, you know what I'm saying, and got felonies and whatnot. But always expose yourself to the legitimate side. And it's painful when you're a felon.
Mm-hmm.
It's painful, but you got to expose yourself to that side in order to grow. I mean, people do it every day. But I thought that was important, man. That illustrated that point that you made in the beginning with the young rapper, you know, perfectly.
That was perfect, though.
Right and wrong at the same time. Social media doesn't help at all. Facebook algorithms indirectly have been coded to show you the content you agree with the most. You click on the things that you like and ignore those that you don't. In time, you're building a...
That was it right there. That was it right there. So he identified now with the gang, which was he was a part of while he was in prison. So it's a Spanish gang, Mexican gang, and now whatever they say, that's what they're thinking for him.
He likes prison more than he likes being a free man.
Right. And then they don't think they allow the gatekeeper of that group. This is like all of the groups, all of the go along, get along groups. Big Mike, the followers, they identify with the group that makes them feel good. So then they engulf themselves with those ideologies, and the gatekeeper of that group does all of the speaking. So whatever they say is Bible, and that's where the ideologies grow from. Now you take this group against that group, and it's collision, battle.
Right, gonna crash out.
Around you a network of people with the same views and values as yourself. And in the process, you're losing something incredibly valuable: the ability to understand, relate, and take value out of the opposite point of view. If you really want to get a deeper understanding...
That's a fact. He don't even understand how he just lost so much money.
He lost it. It's gone. Your boy Busta Rhymes did too.
They don't understand how they lose so much money just by not even thinking. All of them not thinking before they speak. Then you can add a bunch more from this list along with this one right here.
On how to communicate with the people you don't know or are of opposite points of view. Number 11. Your decisions are driven by experience and not other people's opinions. Emotional maturity begins when you're making your own decisions and not allowing others to make them for you. This moment is when you take back control over your life. In order to get to this point, one needs to accumulate enough knowledge through personal experience. This gives you the slight ability to predict outcomes based on previous events. If you put your hand on the stove and it hurt, you're not going to allow other people to persuade you to put it back on, no matter how emotional they get about it. Everybody loves to have their say. You know why? Because they're not involved in the outcome. It really doesn't affect them in any way if you believe one way or another, while for you, it changes everything. Other people's opinions are not paying your bills. Let them have theirs while you're busy doing what's right for you.
Facts.
That's a whole fact right there. He did this one too. The brother in the beginning did this one too. He failed. He sucked at this one too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's making decisions that's driven by other people, the leaders in his gang.
Right. And I'll say this as black people, so-called black people, in this country, we fall victim to this as a community a lot. And we allow ourselves to be gaslit when things that we know is true, and we're trying to argue with people about what their opinion is versus what we know the facts are.
Right.
And we're going to be touching on that tonight on my show, live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. So,
okay.
Those of you who are listening, join in, please.
Definitely, definitely. Good, Brad.
We're going to talk about that, not getting gaslit. You go in this bitch armed with facts, bro. Like when you're going in a battle, you already armed with what you know is the facts. You lay them shits out, and that's that.
And that's that. And it's because it's, you know what it is too. A lot of us, we see the potential, and we would like to. We want the world to be what we want it to be. We got to stop that shit. It is what it is, and we got to stop believing in what we see, what's in front of us, and not what we want it to be.
In the way I think is, they want the world to be what they want it to be.
Right.
I know what the world is. So
right.
when I step in, I'm stepping in. And I'm delving into it. I don't care if I really be trying to prove myself wrong. Like if I have a thought, I set out to prove myself wrong, not prove myself right.
You ain't gonna do that. You ain't even gonna do it. You ain't gonna be able to do it, bro. I tell you right now.
Hey, I try. But that's how I said about research. If I have a theory or a thought or a thesis, I'm like, okay, I need to see how this can be wrong.
Right. Definitely get it.
I feel like it's right, but let me go see how it can really be wrong.
And that's part of being emotional intelligent. I tell them that all the time. I tell you that all the time, class. It's not about your IQ. It's about your EI, man.
Absolutely.
Don't be dumb though. Still get your IQ up, but don't be weighing that. Don't be holding that over nobody's head. You know what I mean?
But the EI is actually more important.
Yes.
You can actually make it without IQ if you have EI.
That's a fact. As shown in our society, look around. All of the millionaires, all of the billionaires, trillionaires.
Facts.
Number 12, you forgive your parents. There was probably a time in your life when you looked at your parents and wondered.
Oh my God, man. This one, let it keep rocking.
Big one.
This is it, man.
This is the one. This is the one.
You forgive your parents. There was probably a time in your life when you looked at your parents and wondered why they didn't do more. Emotional maturity is when you understand that your parents did the very best they could within the context they grew up in, with the tools and knowledge available to them at that point. If you weren't lucky enough to have decent parents, you might even have a negative relationship with them because of the way they treated you in the past. There's power in the ability to leave that in the past and make peace with the present. Think of yourself. At some point, you'll probably have children if you don't already. How do you feel about them? Wouldn't you do anything in your ability to make sure they get to have a better life than you did? Almost every parent you know has the same philosophy on life that you have. Only the circumstances and the know-how is different. Forgive your parents and remind them that, good or bad, you appreciate having them in your life because they either gave you love or they gave you strength.
If they didn't kill you, they made you stronger, bro.
That's a fact. She said it well said, yo.
Yeah. That's key for young brothers out here, man. There's so many brothers out here, especially growing up in single mother homes and whatnot, that got animosity towards their mother and their father, and you're going into your 30s, and some people are in their 40s with this,
Yes.
talking about what their parents did to them,
Right.
and that's retarding your growth.
Mm-hmm.
It's retarding your growth, man. It don't matter what happened to you. If you're here now, then you need to find a way, whether you seek therapy or whatnot, to get over that. You can't stay stuck there in that time frame. It's so detrimental.
Right. It goes back to, what was it, number 4 on this list? You know what I mean? Just being thankful, being grateful for the little that you do have.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And that takes some being mature about it. You know what I mean? But again, like I tell you, 80% of the brothers running around here that you gonna communicate with, that's 8 out of the 10 brothers you communicate with, you might as well just be quiet, let them talk. Just let them talk, bro.
Yeah, I just had to sit back and fall back, man. I've been on several panels and stuff where, guys obviously have some issues that are left over.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have the best childhood in the world. I'm not gonna sit up and act like I did, but I had to leave that shit behind, bro, because it was dragging me down. It was like an anchor around my neck, stopping me from moving forward. So, I had to make the decision to go ahead and get rid of it.
Right. It's a part of the generational curse. It's that shame and guilt shit. You know what I mean? God don't want us walk around here with that shit. He said, get rid of that, man. Don't worry about that. Get rid of that. Everybody have it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And if you can't get rid of it, just go outside butt naked one time, bro. That'll help.
Right.
That'll help you get rid of a lot of shit.
Yeah, I tell him that all the time. Yo, the course of entry, guys, is criticism. Pay that shit and be done.
Yeah, exactly. Like when we were
Number
rapping,
13.
bro, like you couldn't consider yourself a rapper until you got booed off a stage.
Right.
You couldn't consider yourself even in there. You couldn't consider yourself a battle rapper unless you got your ass handed to you in a cipher by somebody. That's when you started really considering yourself being a rapper, being seasoned.
That's fact. That's truth. Truth.
Or they gave you strength. Number 13. You are aware of your limitations and biases. As humans, we have a limited amount of storage. Skills, knowledge, physical abilities, they're all limited. A sign of emotional maturity is understanding where these limits are within yourself. There's nothing we respect more than when having a conversation with someone about a topic they don't seem to fully grasp, to which they reply, I don't know this. I cannot provide you with an educated answer to your question. This is how we, ourselves, reply almost always when dealing with things that are beyond our reach of expertise. Yes, you can make an educated guess or provide a potential opinion, but make sure to state where this stance is coming from. The evolution of this lies in your ability to deliver answers, but acknowledge they are based on a particular school of thought, and that there might also be valid answers when looking at the problem from a different point of view.
Now, this is one of the reasons why I picked this video to react to and give y'all some good content. This boy did all of that right there. He was a fool, and he only reacted. He was so reactional in his answers. He can't stand on. If you ask him, luckily that was just 1 minute. I could only imagine the full length of that interview right there and how dumb he started to sound, because now he's just saying shit. It's no educational value, no proof, no facts behind what he was saying. He just was in an emotional rant and started saying anything.
Kind of like all these people saying they created hip hop right now.
Exactly. Like
it's
a lot
just
of
like them.
A lot of people love to hear themselves talk. A lot of people just love to hear themselves talk. You know what I mean?
And they think they're gonna intimidate you out of asking for receipts and proof.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you run into somebody with balls and they're gonna interrogate you, you know what I'm saying? And you have to prove what you're saying.
Right.
That's when a lot of people get upset and move to the intimidation or trolling or things like that, man. There's nothing whacker than that shit, bro. Like that's you're not a man. That's not even manhood.
That's modern woman. That's single
That's
mother,
women
hell of a
shit.
son shit. That's hell of a mother to hell of a son. That's what she blessed them with. She blessed them with that gift.
Yeah, to be emotionally ignorant.
Yep. And right, that's what it is. It's emotional weakness, bro. Immature.
On a particular school of thought, and that there might also be valid answers when looking at the problem from a different point of view. Number 14. You know when, who, and how to ask for help. Asking for help should never be seen as a sign of weakness. It takes so much strength to go over your ego and look for a solution that will help you in the long run. This strength is built up over time and is a culmination of everything we've discussed up to this point. There are times when you need to face your battles alone. Although relying on others to fight your battles for you might bring immediate positive results, it actually hurts your ability to perform consistently. A very important distinction to be made. In the cases where you need help, you'll have to rely on the people you've gathered around you. If you're smart, you've established a network of individuals with a varied skill set, or at least you can contact them to provide you with guidance. Lastly, it's the way you ask that makes all the difference. Some people are just happy to help, while others might require trading favors. In the words of Thanos, everything should be balanced out there in the universe, so make sure you don't forget to return the favor when the time comes.
Clearly, that boy, he destroyed every connect that he could possibly have. Every single one of them. You know what I mean? I wouldn't fuck with him with it. I wouldn't fuck with him.
Hell nah. And you got to be careful if you're following somebody that burns every bridge after they cross it. You don't know where you're going. You don't know if you have to use that bridge again to get back.
Exactly.
To where you came from. So somebody that burns bridges like that, you know what I'm saying, stay away from them. Avoid the motherfuckers like the plague.
The facts. And it's common sense, guys. This is a struggling rapper. How the hell, why wouldn't you ask for help, sir? Why would you take this stance like me and my guys got it and you and your guys are broke rappers?
Right. And y'all Mexican. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck, man. Unless you hooked up with Jewish people or black people, but you're not getting nowhere in the rap game. You're not.
Fools.
You're not.
Dummies. Yo, hold on one time, yo. Big dummies, yo.
Yeah.
Big dummy, yo.
Exactly. Big dummy.
Incredible, yo.
Number 15. You understand that happiness is a choice, not a destination. Some people are chasing happiness like it's one of those ice cream trucks that just passed you by and doesn't seem like it's stopping anytime soon. When we say that happiness is a choice, many people raise their eyebrows in disbelief. But the more you grow, the more you understand that this is actually the case. No matter how much you try to chase it, you're not finding it in the places you think it will be. You can decide to be happy right now if you wanted to, just through the virtue of consuming this piece of content right now. You already have everything some people only dream of having. The choice to be happy comes from being grateful for what you already have. When this feeling of gratitude rushes through your body, the entire outlook on life changes. Your goals become more attainable because you've already won the race of happiness. You're just running for fun now. This is a crucial distinction between those who are emotionally mature and those who still have some ways to go. Because we are a community.
Right. And it's because y'all don't, these guys and women, y'all so engulfed in keeping up with the Kardashians. You gotta be yourself. See how everything tied in on the list? This goes back to knowing yourself and understanding, you know what I mean? Understanding your flaws and stuff, guys.
That's how you become sluts and baby daddies. By not taking advantage of what you got in front of your face and not taking it just goes right back to number 4. You know what I'm saying? Learning to appreciate the small things and experiencing gratitude, because that's the most fulfilling emotion.
That's a fact, guys.
Hey, let somebody save your life and then tell me how you felt after that, and let me know if there's a feeling that matches that.
Right. Or look, put the shoe on the other foot. You save somebody's life for once. You do something for a person and have them say, thank you, you saved my life, and see how that feel.
Fact.
That feeling is more better than, oh, you beautiful, you a 10.
It's better than sex, bro.
Facts. And a lot of people don't understand, guys. That's where you're gonna get your most happiness from, is from doing for others. You know what I mean? Sharing value. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And your kids are assets. A lot of times the people that you're charged to take care of and have that type of relationship and bond with are your kids.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Taking care of your kids and fostering that sense of gratitude goes both ways, man. It's so fulfilling.
That's a fact. That's the meek that's supposed to inherit the earth, guys. That's the meek that's supposed to inherit the earth. And you just got to teach them up. Equip them up.
We want you to add one more sign to our list. Number 16. We all have different growth rhythms. There's an idea that's been bugging us for a while now, and this might be the first good place where we wanted to introduce it to you in detail. Isn't it crazy how you can be the same age as someone, yet experience a completely different stage of your life? Looking back at the people who we personally grew up with, it's easy to see how we all went in different ways and developed differently after we split into our own journeys. Some have kids, some don't. Some still play video games, some don't. Some are happy, some aren't. This all ties together into the idea that the choices we make accelerate or slow down the stages of our life. Our goal is to compare all of them and take the good out of each one, and hopefully it's your goal as well. We hope you're making the most out of every single second you have, because you never know when it might all be over. And on this realistic note about life, we'd like to take the opportunity to congratulate you once again for taking time to watch this video until the very end. Our wish is that some of these connected with you in a way no other video has done before, and you're leaving our video with more insight than you started with. If you did watch this with us all the way to the end, please write the word shown on the screen at 9 minutes, 29 seconds. Let's see who the truest A-Luxers are.
And that was dope, yo. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know what it is. I ain't here to stand on nobody's shoulders and act like I'm the super most intelligent person in the world, because I'm not, guys. I'm flawed. God ain't gonna send you nobody that's perfect, because he ain't create nobody perfect after he created Lucifer. But what I am here to do, guys, is to get y'all to that information. I told you, it's an escape plan, guys. I'm gonna bring and steal as much white man information and bring it to you guys. You guys gotta want to ingest it, though. But Big Mike, hell of a show today, Big Mike.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you having me.
Man, I could only match a show like this with your intelligence, man, with your intellect and your emotional intelligence, bro. Thank you, bro.
Brother, I'm humble. Thank you, man.
Nah, man, it's like I really operate off the spiritual energy, man. Not to creep none of y'all guys out, but we at the school, so y'all guys know how I am. I'm weird, but it's an energy that, you know what I mean? It's just an energy thing that your voice, just you jump, once you come into the panel, once you get into the chat, yo, it's just an energy thing, man. And like I say, respect goes a long way. Your frame, you know what I mean? I respect you, bro. Nothing but honest, nothing but roses coming from the school when it comes to Big Mike Drop, man. And a couple of other brothers, man, like you, Mr. Palmer. Like, I really respect you guys, man. I really look up to you guys on the low. No cap.
And I appreciate that, man. And we feel the same about you. I feel the same about you. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Palmer, Noble. We got a village here, man. You know what I'm saying? We got the Righteous Spirit Couch Gang. We got the village. We got all types of things going on, man. So, you know, hey, brother, I appreciate you for having me. It was good to actually get over and chop it up with you. You know what I'm saying? Me and you one-on-one, mano-a-mano for a while, man. And I'm going to have you on the Big Mike Drop with me, brother. We got to get it in.
No doubt, man. Anytime you're ready, man, I'll be over there. Man, like I said, guys, this is what it's about, guys. This is about self-improvement, guys. We still need so much self-development of ourselves. The women, let's not worry about them. You know what I mean? They feel like they're 100%. I mean, most of them, not all, but the majority feel like they're 100%. You know what I mean? We ain't got to worry about them. Let's focus on ourselves. Let's do the self-development. Let's do the personal growth. And we'll be all right. You know what I mean? We'll be all right.
Oh, they coming after you do all that. So.
Right. Right. That's what it
Don't
is.
worry about that.
Thanks, guys. So it's been real, guys. We ain't gonna hold you much longer. It's about an hour. So y'all know how it is. Wrap up, strap up, drink responsibly. Do not play with your life, guys. 2 videos is gonna pop up. One on your left, one on your right. So you can continue your viewing experience over here at the School of Common Sense. Again, guys, salute to the Big Mike Drop. Y'all get on over there, check him out. And we out of here.
Salute to you, Goodbread.
I see a devil already popping up in here. Ooh. Brother, if you knew what Allah showed me of you, you would go right away and change. Up in that third balcony, the second balcony. Man, evil nigga. Oh, Yakub ain't got nothing on you. I'm gonna tell you something, believers. Some of you are gonna try me, and I will show you very quick who I am. And you're gonna be surprised. Some of you little crazy Negroes, your heart so filled with darkness and hate. But if you make the little move that you got in your crazy brain, you won't last. You won't last. And I say this, when we get real tight, strong, see a snitch and an enemy that's in here among us, he'll show up. I'm going to say this public, because I really don't give a damn about the consequences. A dear brother and or sister, if you're on the payroll for the police or the FBI, I don't mind you being there. I really don't mind. Because we're not doing anything that we would be ashamed of. So you can be here. It's okay. And even if we knew you was the police, we would not bother you. However, if you work in an evil way to try and break up something good for our people,